there's a lot of thoughts that come into my mind about that, because I believe money, if it becomes the goal, we just really fall short of what we could become, because our only goal is something really just, it's a thing, right? Money has value because we gave it value. And it also
loses value.
Yeah, and it loses value.
People don't.
You're dropping nuggets here. Gold nuggets. That's so true. People don't.
No.
People are inherently valuable.
Yes, and they can always get better. And even if they fall behind, I mean, we should be there to pick them back up.
That's good.
You burn money, you can't bring it back. You just lost the money. Now you have to go find something else. You see what I'm saying?
I think I see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
I think so. Yeah. But explain that.
Okay. Think about it. You have 5 people, you have $5.
Okay.
Okay. Money, the $5, you use it, it's gone. Whatever you used it on doesn't go up unless you invest it, which that's different.
Yeah.
But you go and buy something, food, clothes, whatever, it loses its value.
Right.
You have 5 people, and you teach them and you grow them.
They could make money.
That's not the point. They go out, whether, it's just.
Here's what I think.
It's hard to
Here's
explain,
what I think you're
here.
Let me share this. This is what I'm getting from what you're saying.
Okay.
I think that what is physical and the essence of a human, the values are completely different, right? Because the essence of a dollar bill is just that it's a monetary thing, it's physical, and it'll fade away.
And
but the essence of a human being is honestly eternity.
Because people are constantly growing. And
people can constantly evolve. And the essence of a person can always be worth more than like a single dollar bill, right?
Yeah.
Like a single dollar bill will always be a single dollar bill.
Always.
It might lose value in increments, like small increments, but it'll always still be that $1 bill.
Yeah.
And
that's all it will ever be. It will never amount to any other dollar bill.
But ever. The essence of a human being can always triple, quadruple in 10 times.
Yes.
If they're willing to be open to that or open to that possibility. And so I think that's a really good thought. And I think in these situations, these leaders chose to be only worth what their value was through money.
Yeah.
Which honestly for me is
you get blurred vision when you got a lot of money.
But when you're Kanye said this. I love Kanye. Okay. It's secret love for Kanye that I have. Kanye said he was tired of watching his value be connected to the stock market. I think that's a true statement in this sense, because when you are a business owner or an organizational leader and your value is only attached to the amount of income that came into that business or organization, you're living a short-lived life. The value that you can give to another human being and the way that you can impact people and inspire people, that value is so much more than what money can give you.
Yeah.
And I feel that the reason this happened to like Theranos and Hillsong is because they got blurred vision.
Exactly.
Like you said, they put a number value on something that really, I mean, if Theranos really came out with that breakthrough, that would have changed everything.
Yeah.
And what the empty words she was spewing out, if they had actual value, the world would be so different.
Yes, it would.
Hillsong,
which is crazy.
Hillsong, same way. Except they have impacted people.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they've
the whole church, okay. Thing is, the whole church is not bad.
No.
There were just some leaders that got mixed up.
Yeah.
It
was bad. Yeah. Because they didn't have boundaries. And I don't think Elizabeth Holmes had boundaries. She was willing to do whatever it took. And the guy,
whatever
Sonny,
she had to say.
I don't know how to say his last name, but
Sonny Balwani.
Balwani.
Yeah.
Took advantage of people.
Yes.
For a paycheck.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think manipulation played a big part. Like in episode 2 of Hillsong, what we saw was heavy manipulation.
Yeah.
Because they had influence and power.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yes.
Which
is why it's understandable for people who are new at being a Christian, are learning.
Yeah.
Or people who aren't Christian find it hard to be a Christian because things like this happen. And there are people like that, and they're like, okay, like, how is that any different than... You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, you can't be like, I don't understand why not everybody believes in Christ and God, right?
Right.
I'll tell you why. Watch the documentary. There are people on there who were like, they talk about how involved they were with Hillsong. And then after all this happened, they're like, I don't go to church anymore. I don't do that because pastors are terrible.
I think people could say the same thing about Theranos, and the reason that is because...
But people don't.
They probably do.
But they don't. But the thing is, they don't, because they don't be like, oh, all healthcare places don't care about people. That's not true, because they're not all the same.
I was going to say...
At least I haven't heard that.
I was going to say there was a time period where, and I think recently when we went through 2020 and the pandemic.
Because COVID, yeah.
Right, but people didn't trust healthcare workers. And we know who. It's on a political party. They didn't trust, like they said, the science. I would say this is not me giving you an opinion on what you should do or what you should believe on politics. I personally believe vote policies, not people, because people change. Yeah. So vote policies, vote what you believe in. But there was a time where people didn't trust the hospital, and people don't trust doctors right now.
But guess where they go when they get sick?
The doctor.
The doctor. And hospitals. They get a cough, they go to the ER.
That's a valid point.
I'm serious.
But I will say it leads to the fact that you're sharing that a lot of people tend to judge more.
Yes, because church. It's easy.
How so?
Because church is a necessity.
Wow. Okay.
They don't think that. But they think doctors are, because they can heal you. They can give you medicine, right?
It's physical.
Exactly.
People lean on that kind of stuff, though.
For real.
I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are hard on the church because it's easier to blame. You know what's interesting? It's easier to blame Jesus and the church as a whole than it is to blame doctors. Mm-hmm. They both want to do good things for people, but I think for some reason people aren't like, oh, forget hospitals, we'll never go to hospitals again. Yeah. What do they say? I'll just find a better hospital.
A better hospital. People get hurt by a church.
And they don't say...
And they are like, I'm going to go find them.
Some people do. They're called church hoppers. Some people do, but that's because I think they're bored and they probably have valid reasons, but for the most part...
Not everybody.
The majority of people say, I'm just going to stop going to church.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't work.
Yeah. And then it's like, I also think people, when they get hurt by a church or a person in the church, there's like all churches. It's all churches.
It's all Christian. It's all Christians. See, I didn't mean for this to turn into again something where we talk about faith.
Anyways,
but because we're open, everyone talks and everyone talks about all kinds of things, and we want to be open to that. But we personally do serve in the church. We both have a high value for our faith and walk in Christ. And I think this is where like this conversation is stemming from, is just from what we're passionate about.
Yeah.
Which is we're passionate about people falling
That's just what's
falling
going
in love
on.
with Jesus.
Yes.
And we're passionate about people falling in love with their faith and their walk with God. And it's so hard to hear about people being abused for profit.
100%.
That's tough. Like that just doesn't sit well with me. And when I watched these documentaries, all I kept seeing was the fact that people, when it comes to any organization, the majority of organizations, people are only meant for profit. And I just think that's so backwards. I think an organization profits when they put their people first.
Yes, I also think that in some churches, the people who go to the churches put the pastors on a higher pedestal than they do God.
That's a really good point.
And
which is why I think a lot of pastors tend to feel the need
to be perfect. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm saying that. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And their image becomes more important.
Exactly. That's why with but recently there have been a few pastors, big pastors that a lot of people know. There's been scandals.
Yeah.
Because, not that they've put themselves on a pedestal, it's that money, big number of churches, like people.
Like how much people, like
how
a concert,
yes.
right? How many numbers matter?
Exactly. And so they're like, there are so many people looking at me, I cannot mess up. When inside, they have listen, just because they're a pastor does not mean they don't have problems.
That's
and does
good.
not mean that they have things that people don't know about.
That's good.
But
or
the thing
if you're
is,
a leader of an organization,
exactly.
just because you're a growing, fast company,
yes.
a fast-growing company, it doesn't mean that you're not subject to problems or maybe obstacles that are going to put you in a position where your integrity might be in question.
Yeah.
Or you have to choose between the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. You're not perfect. It's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's not okay to hide your mistakes.
Yes, that's why it's so important to have that one person or the
group of
people that you know you can trust, that you can talk to, which is also hard to say because that was a part of the Hillsong thing too. There were people in there that was like, I trusted these people. You know, that's why it's like, it's so easy to say, but it's so hard to like put it into action.
Yeah.
Because of things that have happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's so good. I think people should learn from these two scandals.
Yeah.
That's not good to hide. Now, it's not good to tell everybody what happened.
No.
I think it's not good to go around and like put it on blast. But I think it's very important that you do find, like you said, people who you can trust and say, hey, I fell short. Hey, I don't have it all together. Even if you're like running a business, you find people and you're like, hey, I don't know everything. For some reason, my business is not growing. My people aren't happy. I think you should find others who have gone further than you have and learn from them. It's good for you to go to your church leaders who you trust, who you feel like you can tell anything to and say, hey, I want to get better. I want to grow. How can I do that? Can I trust you? Can you help me? Because that's super important. I think I wouldn't have grown if it wasn't for our pastor. I wouldn't have become the person I could have been. I would have stayed the same. But I opened myself up.
Yeah.
And that's what helped me to grow. And I feel like other people can learn from that. You know, finding that one person and you're like, I can trust you.
Yeah. And that may take some time to find that person.
Definitely.
And that's okay. So.
That's good.
It's fine.
This was great. Have a blessed day.
Yes.
Take it easy.